What equipment do I need to start DJing? Now this is a question I get asked all the time, so I thought I'd answer it in this video. Now we're not going to be talking about specific makes and models of gear, we're just going to be talking about the pieces of equipment that you actually need to start on a very basic mobile DJ setup. So let's start off with audio gear. Firstly, your speaker system. You've got two options here. Active, which basically means that the amplifier for your speakers is built into the actual speaker cabinets, or passive, which is where you have an external amplifier powering your speakers. Usually you have two speakers either side of your DJ console. It's a good idea to have them up on tripods so the sound travels a lot further around the room. If you have them down on the floor, then the sound is just going to hit the front of your audience and is going to be absorbed. Next up, one of the most important things about the sound system, your actual audio players. Now there's lots of different routes you can go down here with different types of players. You can get MIDI controllers, which basically control software on a computer. All your music is stored on the computer or on hard drives, and then you control the software with a physical controller. Other options include CD players and media controllers, which play off things like hard drives and SD cards. A mixer is something that combines all your audio sources into one single audio output to connect to your speakers. They also control more things such as your volume of your different audio sources, EQ, effects. If you are using a MIDI controller though, you don't have to have an external mixer because most, in fact pretty much all MIDI controllers have built-in mixers. Next up, microphones. It's always crucial that you bring a microphone to your gig, whether it be a wired handheld or wireless system. And lastly, you need a ton of audio cables, whether that be XLR, phono, 3.5mm or 1/4" jack. Those are the main ones. So that's kind of the main components of a basic DJ audio setup. I mean, that's not everything. You can go into much further depth with lots of other little bits of kit, like graphic equalizers, things like that, but I'm not going to go into that in this video. Lighting is a bit more difficult to describe because there aren't specific types of lights you need to have. I'm going to cover a few types of lighting in a second. But I find lighting to be the more creative side of things, where you design your light show and you make the most effective light show you can while still keeping it nice and compact. Now there are loads and loads of different types of lighting out there. You can get moving heads, scanners, lasers, moonflower effects, LED wash, LED bars, par cans. There's just tons and tons of different types of lighting effects out there. So I'm not going to go into detail over every single lighting effect out there. But if you are looking for a very basic lighting system, you just want a very basic light show, have a look at the American DJ Vertigo Tri-LEDs. Now I said I wasn't going to mention any branding or models, but I highly recommend these lights. I mean, if you have two of these up on a T-bar, you can have them as an entire light show in themselves. This isn't specifically a type of light, but a smoke machine is something you really should have with your lighting setup. It allows you to see all the beams of light in the air and makes your light show look a lot more impressive. Now unfortunately, in every single venue we can't use smoke machines because of smoke alarm systems and things like that, so make sure to check with your venue that you can use a smoke machine. There's lots of different ways you can rig your lights. You can get truss systems, whether you have a truss bridge with your lights hanging down, or even truss totems going up from the floor. And then you can also have things like deck stands with built-in light bars, and you can also just attach your lights straight onto your speaker stands, or the most simple is just a basic T-bar. Controlling of lights is also something important you need to consider. Now pretty much all mobile DJ lights that you'll buy out there have got sound active, which basically means that the light will respond to the beats of the music, so it requires no external control. They'll just run themselves and run to the music all night long. But if you want to go a bit more advanced, have a bit more control, you can use something called master-slave, which basically you set one unit as the master and one as the slave. You connect them together via DMX cable, and DMX cable looks exactly like XLR cable. It's 3-pin, can be 5-pin, but it's a signal cable that takes lighting control signal. So you set it up, connect them via DMX, one is the master, one is the slave, and the slave will copy what the master does. You can also get things like the UC3 controller, which allow you to control basic parameters of lights, but if you want to go really advanced, you can go full on DMX with software or hardware controllers that control every single parameter of your light show and program it all yourself on a lighting console or in lighting software, but that is really, really advanced. If you're just starting off, I recommend you invest your money in a decent set of speakers and a decent audio system, because that needs to be very reliable. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you want me to post a video about all the lighting and sound gear that I use, let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.